Amber shares her journey as a disabled model and how she's managed to get where she is today.
And how much dedication that actually went into it, not just me grabbing everybody's ideas and taking it as my own. Because with the conditions I have, it does make that a lot harder than what it needs to be without me really having my own input about that. There's obviously a lot of assumptions that are being made about how I've got there, and it is genuinely most of it incorrect. I have now been doing modelling and working with people in the industry for about going on up to about 7 years. I started off by doing basic photo shoots, just doing collabs, travelling, and just doing basic photo shoots to get the portfolio up, and that's how I started building up my ideas from there. And that's how I started off originally. And then I just started coming up with different ideas that I liked. I'm quite versatile when it comes to my shoots. I like to think of ideas that are out of the box or that are different from what's there, whether that's I won't really say it's about what you're putting in, how much you're putting into the shoot. It's just about the actual idea of itself. I like to differentiate my shoots and just be a bit different with them. But how I managed to sort of speak to different media outlets or get published myself and things like that in different places, I just kept networking. Speaking to different people, getting their ideas, getting their experiences, and that's just how I managed to get published that many times, just by learning and just persistently not stopping on those ideas, and I still aren't going to stop those ideas. What the biggest pushback for me is at the moment is just them assumptions. You can't make an assumption off of something that you don't know fully. Nobody can do that in that position to do that. So I, on the side of the disabilities impacting that perception, that is a regular thing, and that is a day-to-day basis, whether it's like doing basic things, shops, or whether that's actually participating in events by doing like the pageanting thing that I've just done. When I actually met those people and they got to know me, they just understood how much dedication I'm actually putting into where I've got to, even if it's not the place where I need to be, because there's a lot of other things that I am anticipating in the new year that I haven't really spoke about, and I'm not going to go into too much depth until it gets close to the time to sort of reveal that. But all I would say was that could never be made assumptions of, because it has taken that amount of time to do. It's not something that is done overnight, and it's not something that I could keep there as an option if I didn't have that experience. The other thing I will say as well is that the company is looking to expand in different directions, which again, like I say, I will be holding off explaining into too much detail. But that is on the horizon in 2024. So in the meantime, I would just say that any assumptions that have been made, or any assumptions that are made, unless you have a conversation directly with me about it, or if you got it from a direct source, don't make assumptions, because your acknowledgement of what can be capable is not a full acknowledgement unless you're in that position. And I just wanted to say one more thing as well. I have had a lot of trolling, and I've also had a lot of abuse in regards to getting on this journey, and that's something that I do want to acknowledge, and I want to say that it isn't okay, regardless of what like when I mentioned about assumptions before being made. That's not okay. I don't see how trying to degrade somebody or trying to tell someone they can't do something, prior to what I mentioned as well, is okay in this day and age. You should be able to feel confident and happy in whatever work profession that you're in. So I think that did need to be addressed, and those assumptions need to be moved out of the door, regardless of whether people want to agree or not, because it does impact other people's lives in general. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it does impact people's lives in general, and it's not something that someone needs to keep looking back and reflecting on every single day, especially when your input is genuinely out there to help support people, especially the more so the working class people at this present point, because it's a lot more difficult to sort of have those opportunities on that level unless you're financially in a comfortable position, which isn't always the case. So from whatever background you're working from, all I'd say is you make do with what you've got. So it's taken me years to get to where, you know, I'm comfortable of working with some of these people and having those opportunities. It's assumptions don't make that. It's work that makes that.